good afternoon. Welcome along to the Mon Hotel here. My name is Dale Thomas. I'm a comedy hypnotist. I'm actually hosting this podcast this afternoon. Some of our guests: Sean Montgomery from Montgomery Media, Haley from the Busy Whisk Bakery. You were right, Haley. I should have been asking people to introduce themselves. We have Jenna from Jenuine Moments, content creation. We have our next guest,
Melissa.
Melissa's
Photography by Melissa.
And Sinead down the end here is from Perfect Day Bridal. So welcome along, guys. How are we all doing?
All good.
Perfect. I'm going to start with Sean. Sean, tell us a wee bit about your business. Tell us how you got started. So it's Sean Montgomery and Montgomery Media. Tell us the services you offer. Tell us about you.
Well, I've been doing videography from 2001. I got stuck into it when I was in my late teens. I was introduced to it through a youth club, just a little program, and I was hooked from there. So I've been doing it a long time. Next year it'll be coming up to like 25 years, so it's flew in. What I do on the wedding day, on the wedding day itself, is I film from the preparation to around 10:30 that night. Some videographers don't stay that late. I like to stay late. I like to get, as Chris knows, I love to get to dancing. I love to get people enjoying themselves and stuff like that. But I'm more of a traditional videographer. If you're ever booking a videographer, always ask what's in the package so you understand. Are you getting a 15-minute film with your speeches separate and your service separate? Mine is more traditional. It's literally from preparation and it flows right through till that time of that night. And your film itself is guaranteed to be over 1 hour long. I was talking to couples out there as well, and it made me realise I don't think I've actually given away a film that's been an hour long. It's always been over. So I'm more of a traditional videographer in that sense. I also offer photography as well, and do a photography and videography package.
What's your tips for couples in today? Are you all getting married in Le Mans? Some of the couples in today, or are you getting married different venues? Yeah, so Le Mans and stuff. So what's your tips as well for couples maybe thinking about videographer? You know, why should they book a videographer? What's the points to know as well when booking a videographer? The
best thing to do if you're going to book a videographer is definitely do it. The top 3 regrets that a couple may have is always after the wedding. It is, we should have had that filmed. And it's more, this is more of a dark side really. It's more heartbreaking when, say, a grandmother or a loved one passes away and they go, maybe we could have had them on film as well. You know, that's because it's documented for your family for years to come. But the best tip is to get in early and book. Just get that deposit down and book a videographer. But book one that you know what you're getting. Book one that you love the style with, and book one that you resonate with. I think it's really important too. You have to really click with them and get on with them.
I think that's with any fender as well. So whenever you're booking a fender, make sure the fender's suited to your personality, and make sure that you can find somebody that, I suppose, especially with videographer and photographers, and I'm sure you'll agree too, Melissa, videographer and photographers are the most annoying people on your wedding day. This is a fact, so it is. So make sure, I'm only joking by the way, but make sure that they're suited to you in your day. So make sure that them people are suited to you and you'll enjoy spending the day, because do you know what? They're there and they have a really important job. The photographer wants to get as many really good photos as possible, and the videographer's the same. They want to capture all these moments. And I know I've been to weddings and I've noticed it, and brides are like, oh, I think we have enough now. Honestly, they're there to try and really get as much as possible. I suppose I'll go to you on that, Melissa, maybe.
That's really important, yeah, that you gel with the person that's going to be with you for like maybe 10 to 12 hours in a day. If you don't get on with that person and don't have the same sort of outlook as what they have, there's going to be clashes, and then you just won't enjoy the wedding as much as you would. Yeah. I don't know, Mike, I'm very relaxed in what I do. I don't take couples off for hours and end to do photos, which is not necessary. I'd like to get them back into their guests and have a party. You know, that's what your wedding day should be about. But at the same time, get these beautiful portraits throughout that time. Before you get back in, then get loads of candles with you with your guests as well, which is super important, and all those family members too.
What sort of services do you offer? Different packages throughout the day, Melissa, or what's?
I offer packages, and the packages are really in terms of coverage. So one package is up until meal call. There's another one that will cover your speeches, and then another one which covers up to dancing. With all my packages now, I include an 8x8 album, which is complimentary with all the packages, because I want you to have something in your hand that you can take to your friends and say, look, this is my wedding day, instead of pulling up a wedding gallery online with hundreds of photos and having to go through them all. You've got something tangible to bring. It's going back to the old school, but it's beautiful. And I have albums if you do want to have them come and have a wee look at my stand. But I just think it's nice, and it's gifted from me to you with any package that you book. Also, as getting to know the clients ahead of the wedding day is very important to me. So I offer pre-wedding shoots with all my packages too. It's a 30-minute shoot around a local park, and it's a bit of crack. We probably talk more than we actually shoot. But it just relaxes you on the day, so you can see what it's like to get your photos taken, see how many photos you can get in such a short space of time, so you know that you will be back in with your guests and having fun on your wedding day.
Brilliant. And do you cover the whole country? I know, Sean, you'll travel anywhere as well. So you travel everywhere as well.
Travel everywhere, north and south both. Sligo probably is the furthest that I go to.
Right there.
But yeah, all over. I just love it.
Perfect, brilliant. I'll move on now to your content creator. Content creation, that is quite a new thing, isn't it, for weddings?
It is. It's on the up and coming as well. And as you see, like, everybody's on their phone. So every time you're going on your phone and you're laying in bed, what are you doing? You're going on TikTok. It's like, that's class and all, blah, blah. So that's pretty much how I had started out, was like by TikTok. I thought, I love to do wee things for myself. I'll show who I am. I'm a hater, like. But I just wanted to show that side of it. And then all of a sudden I thought, it could be really lovely to do weddings because I love love. So I was like, that would be lovely, and meeting new people and things like that. So yeah, it is in the up and coming, like. So.
Well, what sort of packages do you offer for the?
So I offer 2 different packages. So pretty much almost like Melissa's. So a half day, which is known as Euphoria Love. It's your morning preparation up until your dinner entrance. And then your last one is your last in love, which is the full day. So again, the 12 hours up until you're dancing. Depending on, obviously, your dancing. Some people don't want to get up and dance. Like me, I'm like probably the first one up, and I'm like, come on, yeah. I'm like, right, get Bruno Mars on, get something on. Do you know what I mean? Bring them up, and then just to see what the content brings out, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah.
I think with content creation, or even with videographer as well, the dancing part, it's great that they're both, like, Sean, you as you said, the dancing parts, it's brilliant. You get all that sort of, you get all them great moments, like people on the floor that maybe you'd never thought would be on the floor dancing, so you can catch some funny moments. I'm sure you're the same as well.
Yeah, you do. As much as it's obviously about the couple, I do think that it's nice to also include your guests. You want to see someone who's twerking and go, oh my goodness, look at Jenna, she was twerking, that's a gig, I didn't even know she did that, and things like that. So I think the guests are just as important as what the couple is for that kind of thing.
I think it's good when you've got the likes of a great DJ that gets interactive with your guests, like the superstar DJs, or you have a great band, like a collective wedding band, or something, some really good band that interacts with your guests. It gets them up, gets them dancing, gets them involved, and it makes our job easier because all we have to do is just capture,
Throwing it out into the audience, if you have any questions about photography, videography, content creation, any questions that you might have?
From somebody that got married a few years ago, I didn't have a videographer, and it's my biggest regret that I didn't, because as a bride, you don't see things that are happening. You get photographs, yes, but even the photographer can't be everywhere. A videographer seems to get
I think it's even, a videographer's one of them things. It's looking 10 years time, whenever you can go back and sort of see change. And I suppose even like you touched on it a bit as well, like, maybe people aren't with us in 10 years time and stuff, and you have them memories to keep. So a videographer, it is important. I think it's your big day, so go all out, as well.
I'm going to do it again just to have that.
Have any questions about videographer?
What's the difference between those two? I get asked a lot. What's the difference between content creation and videography?
This is like a competition here now, guys. I'm like getting the box.
We're actually going to have a fight, so we're
The battle will commence.
It's not a competition in regards to it. So the way that I view it is with content creation, then, as you know, it's all through social media. They're quite short clips. They're mainly all done on iPhones or any good phone. I also just have like a wee small camera as well, which I use, but it's mainly all done by iPhone and done by social media. Videography.
Well, the other difference is that you have a really, really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Like you can have your stuff done within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
I can't do that because mine is a full-blown kind of production. Do you know, it's 3 cameras and it's 4 audio recorders and a drone, and you know, it's a whole kind of big production that the couples don't see necessarily. Most of the time they don't even know where they are.
And I think the speeches as well for yourself. Yes, I can try and get wee snippets of speeches, but it's not going to be the full length because the battery on an iPhone, well, obviously with a battery with a proper video, they're going to get the proper speeches. So I think that's probably a big thing too with the difference.
It'd be short form films
Yeah.
versus documentary. And that's the big differences really.
Yeah.
But both unique and what I think is vital. Do you know, especially in today where everything is social media, you'll get that stuff the next day.
Yeah.
And for documentary, for you know, the long-term preservation of your family memories, then that's where the videography will come into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'll put the boxing gloves away. It's fine.
I think you touched on it, like, you know, with content creation, it really is. You're going to receive the footage the next day so you can show it to your friends on Instagram or TikTok or whatever your platforms is. Whereas I think with a videographer, it's more personal. It's something you're sitting down with your family, you're watching it together. Isn't that right? You know,
It is personal preference
I think, you know, content creation, I think it's more for the world to see, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It's more for your Facebook friends and your Instagram followers and stuff to see, whereas yours is more personal. I know even my wedding video, like, you know, like really, it was just, you know, family had seen it really, so I suppose that's a big difference.
No, I agree, definitely.
Yeah. Some people say, is it too much to have a photographer, a videographer and a content creator? Again, it's personal preference, but I've worked with a few content creators, obviously with a photographer as well. And there's never been a problem. There's been professionalism. We work well together. We don't get in each other's shots, because that's what you would imagine. You know, we didn't need all these things. There's going to be too much going on. No, not because if you're hiring a professional in every genre, photography, videography and content creation, they're all professionals. They know what they're doing. They communicate beforehand. They just don't turn up on the day and go, "Ooh, what's going on?" You know, we do meet up and we have little chats.
Yeah. And you want the real behind the scenes as well. So your natural habitat, just do what you're wanting to do, and those get captured, and they're the most beautiful moments as well. So.
I think, if anybody want to touch any questions for any of the content or any?
So I don't actually specify how many you get. So again, depends on your day and what I can capture. The likes of, say you have kids and you want to focus on some of the kids, you can get a few wee different things on there. So for me, I'll offer as many as I can possibly get for you, and you'll also get a 60-second highlight reel, which is your whole day or your whole half day pretty much. So I do as many as I can. Some others can do, oh yeah, it'll only be 5 or 6. I don't specify. I'll just give you as many as I can get for you.
Perfect. I think on to my favourite now, cakes. Let's talk cakes.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Thank you.
All right, Healy from the Busy Whisk. Cakes, tell us what we need to know about cakes for wedding cakes.
What do you need to know?
This is a minefield as well, because I've interviewed Healy for the podcast. You can find all the podcasts on the website. It's www.weddinghelpni.com, so you'll get all the podcasts. I know I've talked to you about wedding cakes, and it was a minefield. It honestly is. Like, there's so many different flavours. There's lots going on.
It's flavours, it's sizes, it's shapes, it's where it's going in the room, it's the temperature of the day. There's so much to consider when you're ordering your cake. The plan for me is just keep it as simple as possible. Your process with me is just send me a message, tell me what you like. I've got 18 different flavours you can choose from. I'll send you a brochure with all our prices, and then we just meet up, or we can video call, or we can telephone each other, or I've got a showroom in Lisbon. You can come in and chat all things cake there. And then we just finalise exactly what you're after.
How far in advance for couples, booking cake, how far in advance should you be looking at that?
I will say, for me personally, I am fully booked for this year and next year.
Yeah.
So as early as you can get in. If there are cancellations, which does happen, I always tell people, send me a message anyway. If I can squeeze you in, I absolutely will.
Yeah.
But yeah, as early as you can. Get a sample box. We have them most weekends, so order a sample box with us. You can try the different flavours, and if you like the texture, the flavour, and how it generally feels, then book.
And as you said, we were talking on our podcast that we done. There's only so many weddings you can do in a day,
Absolutely.
so it is.
Yeah, it's just me at the minute.
It is important. Like
I'm planning to expand. I'm planning to get a wee team together and get some premises. But at the minute, it's just me, and my husband helps out. But yeah, there's only so many I can do. I want to do them all.
Talk about as well, so the flavours as well. I know even for like mums and dads and grannies, there's a traditional sort of thing, but go through some of the sort of things there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat a classic Victoria sponge. I find most people will go for a classic Victoria sponge, but then fruitcake is still a thing. It's not kept anymore like it used to be, but fruitcake for the older generation is still very much there.
Yeah.
But you do have more popular ones like Guinness and Bailey's cream, raspberry white chocolate, something a bit more out there.
Have you got samples? Are you stall?
I was just about to ask the same thing there when you said Bailey's and all.
I didn't have time to do the fair today. I just popped in to have a wee chat.
Right. So
I have no samples with me today, no. But
have any questions out on the audience about cake or
I am so glad somebody asked that. Yes. That's what I recommend, purely because you don't want to be taking loads of cake home with you. A 3-tier cake for us feeds about 110 people. Tends to be the most popular size that I do. But if you serve that earlier on in the day, you're probably still going to take some home with you, regardless of how many people you have. But the earlier in the day you serve it, the more chance people are going to eat it. In the evening, after a 3-4 course meal and dessert and drinks, nobody's thinking, let's have a slice of cake, unless you're like me and love cake. But yeah, earlier in the day, for me personally, you can get your photographs done out the way. I'm sure the photographers, videographers will tell you.
I wouldn't even worry, because I know, and the photographer will tell you this, most of the time I know your shots for the actual cake cut, they're done weighing that, although you'll do one in front of the guests, it's not actually the real one. The real cake cutting is done, you'll be able to tell us like afternoon time, so it's really...
I agree with doing the cake cut early.
Yeah. I will also say, think of where in your venue you're going to seat the cake, and stands, what you're going to place it on. Where in the venue, if it's a very hot day and it's in a glassed room, the heat is going to build up in there no matter what. So just think of the type of cake you're going to have, and when you'd like me to deliver. If it's going to be a hot room, I can deliver as closer to the time you need it, instead of it sitting in a hot room all day getting sticky. And then stand-wise, please bear in mind what you're putting your cake on. It is an incredibly heavy cake. 3 tiers has a lot of ingredients in it. A little plastic stand off of Temu and Shein, and that isn't going to cut it.
I've seen them on swings.
Oh, I love the swings. Yeah, as long as they're properly made. Swings are fantastic. But
What's your most popular flavour?
Flavor, at the minute, it's the raspberry white chocolate, I think. Oh. Yeah, raspberry white chocolate.
My tummy just rumbled there.
I heard that.
Did you? I should have done that.
So I think we're going to move up. Perfect Day, Sinead from Perfect Day, wedding dresses and occasions and that occasion. Where tell us what we need to know. Wedding dress is one of the most important things. That's well in advance, isn't that right?
Well, yeah, we're finding brides now they're actually not leaving as long between the wedding and ordering time, but we still would advise 12 to 18 months for your wedding dress, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, you might not be lucky enough to find your dress on your first day out. It can be a bit of a process, but we would always advise just book 1 or 2 appointments at the start first. It is really overwhelming to do 4, 5, 6 appointments at one go. So we would say 2, 3 appointments, then have a think. Have you found your dress? You will know when you put your dress on, girls, because you will stand in front of a mirror somewhere and you nearly turn into somebody who's been engaged into seeing yourself as a bride for the first time. Because it's really fun trying on all these beautiful, pretty dresses, but there is one that something inside you thinks, this is really special. Not everybody cries, not everybody sort of swings from chandeliers and things like that, but there is something inside you that that you do know this is special to me. We have one of the biggest collections of dresses anywhere, either north or south. We have about 450 wedding dresses in the boutique. It's a very relaxed time with us. You're not put under pressure. You come in, we do give you a wee call before your appointment just to see where you're at. A lot of girls are overwhelmed with the whole thing. And we have just launched actually our personal styling and masterclass service where you come in and we talk you through different fabrics, different necklines, what it means with a cathedral length veil or a 54-inch veil, all those sort of things. And then we try on dresses, because if you're only starting out and nobody else around you's got married recently, do you know the difference between macado and satin and tulle and lace and all these different things and necklines? So we have found girls are really finding that.
I think even you were saying there about, whenever have we all done dress fittings? Have we all sort of got that? I think that's a good thing that you've said as well, but only having the two, maybe only booking 2 or 3 sort of shops, because you can overwhelm yourself where you can. And
you really, really can, because it's only part of your day. It's only a dress, but it is the dress, if that makes sense to you out there. And I think girls sometimes, well, most of us, maybe boys, I don't know this too, but, we're so afraid of getting it wrong. You want to be the best you can be in the day of your wedding. And you need to trust yourself and trust the people that are with you. And on that note, don't bring too many people, because sometimes the hardest part of our job, and Amber's down the back, she'll tell you that too, is making sure that the bride's voice is heard in the room. Because bring the people that are most important to you, bring those that listen to you, all right? And that they're not going to go, no, you have to take a lace dress when you want a plain dress, because they maybe wore lace, and lace is the only fabric a bride should wear. You have to be heard, because at the end of the day, it's your bridal vision that we're trying to bring to life for you on your day, with all the other vendors too, do you know what I mean? Because it's what your bride or your wedding day is, who you are as a couple. It's the biggest expression of who you are that you'll ever put out into the world. And from start to finish, that's why vendors, that's why venues, that's why bridal stylists like us are so important, because we're there to help you. You're paying a whole lot of money for all this, so you need to be looked after properly.
I know as well, you don't do alterations as such, but that's a big part of it as well, booking well in advance too, because I know I've talked to people that does alterations and stuff on the podcast, and do you know what, that's a big minefield too.
Oh, here, Donna would scare you, wouldn't she?
Do you know what, probably one of the best podcasts we had, and Chris will tell you himself, I spent 45 minutes chatting to Donna from So Handy, and it's such a minefield. It's
100%.
So
I think my biggest sort of advice, or my best advice, is anything that there's one person off needs booked as soon as you get engaged. So one of everybody sitting along here, do you know what I mean? Your seamstress is so important, and that really materialised after COVID, because there were so many weddings happening at once. And then it became more and more imperative. Plus, it's a dying trade. Not everybody is as good as each other when it comes to alterations. So those who are the best at doing alterations will get booked up very quickly. Most bridal shops don't offer alterations, simply because a seamstress wants to work to her own diary and her own time. So we'll give you a list of people. Donna's on it there. That wedding, or the Bridal Seamstresses NI is brilliant too, because Donna runs that. But we'll be able to give you a list whenever you come in, and you'll find most bridal boutiques work like that. From seamstresses, don't be going to wee Sally down the road that does the curtains. Sally might be good at curtains, no offence to any Sallys out there, but bridal is completely different. Make sure you book, when you're booking your alterations, you book yourself and your bridesmaids in, any flower girls, and if there's any mommies that need their outfits done too, because we also have an occasion wear boutique called Perfect Night next door to us, and mommies seem to have it in their head that their outfit needs to fit perfectly when they buy it. It doesn't. Your bridal dress won't fit perfectly, your bridesmaids' dresses won't fit perfectly. They'll all need alterations, and it's no different for any mommies out there.
Have any questions in the audience about the dresses? Any questions out there? Well, happy enough.
I have one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Bridal sizing.
Yeah.
Now, I know when I got married, I was about a size 18, and my dress was a 24 to get anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Is that right? You have to go
100%,
so much bigger?
Yeah. So every designer have their own size chart, and I always blame men for making the size chart. Sorry, boys, because I think they forget us girls have a bust and waists and hips and things like that. So you never really worry about your size. You fall in love with a dress that makes you feel the best, and let whoever you're buying the dress off measure you. And it is not a River Island size or something like that. It is that designer specific size to you. And we do sometimes think, there's girls maybe wear a 10 and they have to go to a 12 or a 14. That's okay. It's a bridal 12 or 14. It's not high street, and we're not saying you wear that every day. The most important thing is that it fits your body really well, and that it looks good on you. And then the seamstress will fit it. Most people will need it bigger for one part of their body, and that's the size you have to go for as well.
Just looking after the, whenever you use a certain date that the dress needs to be picked up and stuff. I know that can be a big thing as well, the storage.
The way we work it is we work with the brides to find out when their alterations are booked for, and we try to get the dress in well before that, because whenever the dress comes into our boutique, we steam it for you, we check it over to make sure that everything's perfect, and then we'll contact you. Then you come in, you take it home, and it's packaged in a dress bag that's totally breathable and things like that. So then you'll take it to whoever's doing your alterations for you.
Brilliant. Any questions? No? I think we'll find out all about you. So if you Instagram and stuff like that, and where people can find out about you, and we'll ask everybody the same questions as well.
So we're Perfect Day NI, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then our occasion wear boutique is called Perfect Night. And anybody who's got flower girls, we've also got the most beautiful wee princess rooms for your flower girls called Perfect Princess.
There you go.
So I'm Photography by Melissa. On Instagram, I'm Photography by Melissa NI. The same on Facebook, and the same on the website. I'm on TikTok too, but not very often. Yeah, that's me.
So I'm Jenuine Moments with a J, by the way, and there's a madness to the method of this. My name's Jenna with a J, hence why it's Jenuine Moments. I've had a lot of people being like, "You've spelled genuine wrong." I know I'm a blonde, but I'm not that stupid. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Jenuine Moments NI, specific, because there is other ones that do have the name, but I'm Jenuine Moments NI. So yeah, have a wee nosy, and my wee stall's around the corner, so any questions, give me a shout. Got business cards, leaflets, all that kind of stuff, so yeah.
Mine's really easy too. I am the Busy Whisk Bakery. Just make sure you put the bakery. There is another one out there, the Busy Whisk, but the Busy Whisk Bakery on Facebook, Instagram, website, and TikTok.
Perfect.
What's my name again?
It's Sean, I think it's Sean.
Sean Montgomery Photography on Facebook, and Montgomery Media Films on Facebook. Website's under construction, but you'll also find me on Instagram under S Montgomery Media.
Perfect. And mine's is comedyshow.ie, so it is. So if you're on looking for wedding entertainment or something a bit different, you can let me know so you can. Thanks to Peter, our producer today, for producing the podcast. Thank you very much, Peter. And remember, check out everything on Wedding Help. It's www.weddinghelpni.com. And of course, our Facebook group as well, Wedding Help. It's the largest in Northern Ireland. So if you've any questions, I always say as well, go onto the group and you'll find out lots of information on there. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and that is our podcast. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.